Hello, hello, and welcome to the call, everyone. This is our weekly community call. My name is Erin Fugate, one of the founding members of the Visionary Leaders Collective. Let's see that beautiful PowerPoint. Do you have that PowerPoint, Aisha?
I'm seeing it on my end. Are you not seeing it? Is everybody else seeing it?
Yeah, I see it.
Oh,
beautiful. Gifts for you. Yeah.
Okay, do you want me to take it from here, Erin?
You take it away because I don't have it.
Okay. Yes, Mercury is in retrograde. Hello, everybody. I'm Aisha Harley. Welcome to our call. We want to make sure that you all know that we have an incredible website full of so much information. So if you've not checked out hellovisionary.life, please go and take a look at our oil education, our business education, and all of the recordings for the community call. Plus, look under events. If you're ever looking for the links for any of our events, just go to that page and you'll find everything you need. Today, we are thrilled to have Dr. Mica's wisdom with us today. She's going to be sharing her clinical pearls on hormone and neurological formula. So we will introduce her in a moment. May 18th, next week, we are going to talk about convention. Who is excited about convention? And we will then announce our call on the 25th coming up soon. And we do have so many offerings in our community. We want to just give you the snapshot of everything that you can take part of. Lindsay and Nikki host a work party Mondays at 4. This is a great time to come and do your doTERRA work with the community. It is on Zoom, but everybody is working, but you can ask questions and get support, etc. Every Tuesday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, we have one of our visionary leaders teaching an Oils Made Easy Introduction to doTERRA Essential Oils class. So this is really great to introduce friends, family, anybody that you would like to learn more about doTERRA, and or if you are new and you're just learning, come and join. Of course, again, we have our Wednesday calls every Wednesday at 10 a.m. And please make sure and join us for the doTERRA Empowered Success trainings. They're the first Monday of every month, and they have been excellent. They are business trainings. We highly recommend coming to these. And then Ariana and her team of doctors leads the Oils A to Z call on the third Mondays at 10 a.m. This is on Zoom and Facebook Live. And they do a deep dive into an essential oil every month. And also all of those recordings are on the website as well. Okay, so next week, I know yesterday, Dr. Josie Schmidt, thank you, Josie, for doing that. May 17th, Erin Fugate will be teaching our Intro to Oils class. And then May 24th, Lindsay Bodo, and May 31st, Contessa Beth. We're almost through our essential wellness education series. So if you've missed that, you can still hop on for these last few classes coming up. We have oils for pain management with Erin. That will be the last one. Oh, and then we have our panel discussion. And if you look down there at the bottom at the Eventbrite link, that's how you register for these events. And then I'm sure we'll have another one following this up. But this is a great way to do a deep dive and to learn more about our essential oils. Dr. Josie, do you have something to add?
Yeah. So these things can change. However, I heard a little birdie say that what seems like on the horizon for the panel discussion isn't this a great idea, you guys, talking for all the new people and old people about basically all of our resources? So a panel discussion on what are your favorite books? What are your favorite apps? What are your favorite websites? What are your favorite resources? Like all of that. If you were a newish person in your first 6 months to a year of being with our community and doTERRA, wouldn't you be super excited to hear about that from people who've been in it for like 10 years? Yeah, so I think that's going to be the panel discussion. So come join us.
Ooh, that sounds awesome.
Join on the panel, because we also look for who do we want on the panel.
Yeah, love that. And then we also have another time, it's the same series, but it's offered by the Butterfly Collective. So thank you all for contributing to that. And there is a schedule and also the link at the bottom of the page. Okay, moving forward again, give me a high five, some cheer on the chat. If you're joining us in convention, we are really excited to plan, to gather, to connect, to give you all really big, warm hugs. We can't wait to see you. We do hope that you will be joining us. Okay, Dr. Josie, I'm going to hand it on over to you to introduce our special guest.
Oh, thank you, Aisha. All right, everyone. Many of us know her, but I will introduce her. She is Dr. Mica Carew, and she has many letters behind her name. She is a naturopathic physician, also a master's in Chinese medicine, acupuncturist, as well as, I love this, a plant whisperer, author of Plant Spirit Medicine, medicine woman in her tradition, doTERRA Diamond, and there's a lot more too. She's one of my best friends. I love so much of the wisdom that trickles down between that you guys hear from all of us. That's it. It's coming from all of us and we're all interacting, and she and I bounce stuff off each other, and her wisdom has seeped into me, and we share it. So thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Mica. And this, what might I say, this call was about, there are two formulas that she's mentioned, because she's always on these calls and she's like, hey, just by the by, she's like, my hormone formula and my neurological formula. And everyone's like, what's that? So we're like, okay, we want to call. And Dr. Mica Carew is in full-time practice. She sees lots of patients. She has lots of amazing clinical pearls and experience. So her formulas and her wisdom is rooted in current and ongoing clinical experience. So we love to hear about that, and about these formulas, how they came about, how she uses them, her wisdoms with them, and because I use them and they are foundational to my foundational medicine, and how I work with myself and my health. So thank you, Mica, for coming on.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. So let's go to the formula. And then I want to talk about clinical practice, because this is like me in I want to go to the neurological, the brain toddy, because I'm in the trenches treating patients almost every day and have been since 1998. So, and then doTERRA oils came into my life, and they made everything so much easier for me. And I want to first talk about the importance and the necessity of having a really clean oil. Because many times patients will say, can't I just get something like some other brand at New Seasons or it's something I picked up along the way? And I'm like, no, I have a conscience that tells me, and all the information I know now about essential oils and the adulteration of it, that these are the only oils that I trust completely, that I can offer a brain toddy or a hormone blend or all the other protocols that I do to a patient. And so what I love about doTERRA essential oils is that I can count on them to work every time. So I've been doing this brain toddy, for example, for years now. And I learned about not the brain toddy. I put this combination together, but it was a couple years ago at the doTERRA convention. Dr. Hill was mentioning oils. So what happens with Dr. Josie and I is when we're in a convention, we're taking notes like crazy, and she's taking notes. I'm just computing in my head, like, oh my gosh, she's really talking about da da da, and I can put this together, da 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 da. I guess that's maybe how a baker goes. I don't know, but I'm concocting a formula based on information that we received from Dr. Hill, sort of, and we put it all together. So it's a process. It's like looking at the constituents, then putting it together with Chinese medicine theory, but also putting it together with the medical theory, allopathic theory, physiology. And so this is like long time years of information culminating into this beautiful one drop, Amy. It's just one drop. So I'll get there. Culminating into this beautiful formula. How I want to teach this to you, this neurological toddy, is I don't want to talk about the science of it. Dr. Josie and I have talked about the science and the constituents. That's not how I've learned Chinese medicine. That's not how I've learned from my grandmother's teachings, which have stuck with me. I want to teach you by telling stories and talking about my experiences in the clinic, because I think that you'll remember it that way. So when you need something, you can go, oh yeah, Dr. Mica, brain toddy, she's wearing the purple top. I mean, I remember when my Chinese medicine doctor taught me a formula, told me a story. I know he was wearing khaki pants and a blue top. You know, some things kind of trigger you to remember and then pop, and then this formula will come to you. So I have lots of stories. I think I'll start with my dad and his neurological situation. He, and this was before COVID. Then I want to talk about post-COVID syndrome, because this can work on that too, but I'm just going to stay focused on. So my dad, he's 88 now. He's going to be 89. He was in a car accident like 4 years ago. He was rear-ended, and he's still an attorney. His brain is really clear. When I came to visit him, he was kind of shaky, and he'd always say, I'm shaky inside. I'm shaky inside. I can't calm down the shaky. And so I decided to start this brain toddy, and it's frankincense, copaiba, pink pepper, melissa, turmeric, green mandarin, and yarrow palm, and it's 1 drop of each. And Siberian fir is in parentheses because I started with that. I added that in, and now I kind of vary it. You can totally also, because some people, because of our other talk on the Taming the Tiger, we take that as our morning tea. So I take frankincense, copaiba, Siberian fir as my morning tea. So I don't put the Siberian fir in my brain toddy. So if you're doing the trifecta in the morning, which we've talked about, if you want more information on that, go to the library of information from Essential Wellness and then click on Taming the Tiger, and you'll understand the formula of frankincense, Siberian fir, and copaiba. So with my dad, I put frankincense, copaiba, pink pepper, turmeric, green mandarin, yarrow palm. I didn't put in the melissa at first. And so he said it felt like it was doing the trick, but he said something's missing. And he's not a person, I just got him on the LLV, you know, he says it's just really not doing the trick. So then I added in 1 drop of melissa. And to this day, he has no shaking. He's calm and feels stable, and his mind is really clear. So if you're feeling shaky, or you know somebody that feels internally shaky, or they have a quote, diagnosis of, oh, it's kind of Parkinson's, but you don't fit into all those categories, or MS, but you don't fit into all those categories, that would be a time to use the brain toddy. I mean, I use it because of, you know, to prevent Alzheimer's, dementia, anything that you can think of brain-wise. Start adding in I call it the neurological toddy, the brain toddy in the morning. I'm thinking about another. So any questions so far? Because I'm just going to move on to another case. So I'm going to move on. I had a patient who it looks like you make a blend in a, it looks like you, in it, how many drops do you add to the cap? Just one, it's just one drop of each. So you can put it in a gel cap or underneath your tongue. It's hot with the Melissa and the turmeric, it's hot. So the way I do it in a gel cap. The way I do it for my dad is I take like a shot glass and I put some cranberry juice in it and I put one drop of each into the shot glass, mix it up, and he just drinks it down. So yeah.
So let's talk about this, because I know people that get really like on the how-tos.
Yeah.
So those are two ways. So you're saying you sit there and you do them, you blend them in the moment in a gel cap for yourself.
Yeah.
Or you blend them in the moment in a shot glass with a little bit of something for your dad.
Yeah.
What do you think? So what I've been doing, and you and I talk about this, is I get an old 15 ml bottle.
Yeah.
And I do one a month for me and Chris.
Yeah.
And so it's, what she means by one of each is it's the same, right? Everything is even amounts.
Yeah.
And so I do about 40 drops of each of these, and it fills about 3/4 of a 15 ml bottle. And I do that once a month.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we do is, we're like old hat hardcore peeps. So I do 8 drops under my tongue of the blend every morning.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think in a perfect world, it's probably better to not pre-blend it.
Yeah.
Right? The actions, but you also do what you can. And
just get it in. I'm all about process. So I like to do my symphony of the cells one at a time on the bottom of my feet really quickly. I like to do this. It's a ceremony for me. It's really quick. Drop, drop, drop. I'm doing it for my dad at 6 a.m. Leave it at the table. Why not pre-blending? Yeah, that's what Dr. Josie is doing. She's pre-blending. So,
Marilyn, one of the things we know is that as soon as you combine oils, their chemistry mixes and changes in the moment of the combining. So when you make a pre-blend, it's sitting there in the bottle for that month, and the chemistry is very different. It's not worse, it's just different. So when you are taking it one drop at a time or just blending in that moment, I think it's a little bit more towards the original of the oils themselves.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We don't know what's better or worse. We're just
yeah, that is a lot of drops all at once. And so this might not be for a first timer user.
Right.
But you know what? Dad totally uses it every morning. He was a first time user, and but it worked so fast and it was so effective. He is so consistent with it. So, you just have to feel it out for yourself. Ariana, wouldn't the chemistry blend together in the cap? Yeah, I think so, Ariana. And then also, are any of the butterflies here? Because I know that Michelle and Julie, they actually make their gel caps ahead of time. So if you're if you want to share about that, that would be good.
Yeah, I don't. I'm saying, would you freeze them? And I don't know, I've never done that. First time user, y'all, this is not too strong. This is a perfect blend. You don't need to leave some oils out. I would say put it in a gel cap and take the gel cap if you're new to taking oils internally and such forth, and just have one drop of each of these in a gel cap. Doing the shot glass or straight in the mouth is what's a little more intense. But taking a drop of each of these for someone new, this is going to be medicinal to your nervous system. It's not going to be intense on your nervous system, right, Mica?
No. So let's look at these. I want to really address these questions. I make a CV antiviral blend that has 13 oils in it, and I have pre-blended, but will stop doing that, I guess. No. You can totally, Marilyn, you can totally continue doing what you're doing. It's fine. I don't have time to use the oils in Fluta individually, the number of times per day I apply it.
Exactly. You guys, we have to blend like ease and what's doable, and
Yes.
blending we're not saying it's not as good or worse.
Yeah.
We're just acknowledging that when you blend the oils, they change. And so that's all. It's
Still
not
really effective. Still
Yeah.
really effective. So do what you can do what's easiest, and you can get it in. So yeah, use a gel cap. I think you can I know that some of my team members definitely pre-make them and for their whole family, and it seems fine. So I just do it how I do it. I'm just so conditioned to do it that way, and everything in my life that way. Yes, gel cap goes to the digestive system, Linda. Sublingual goes to the rest of the body. You know what? Yes. And I want to say that even if you take it in a gel cap, it still gets to the brain, because remember the gut brain connection is there's so much connection there. You will affect the brain by taking it internally in a gel cap. I'm going to give you another story. So it's all about there's all these different ways that you can take it, right? But what I want to say is I want to give you more stories, because my dad takes it in some crappy cranberry juice, that he loves, and it still works. So then there's a patient of mine who was diagnosed with, she just had a shaky limb, and she was on the verge, maybe possible Parkinson's, but not sure. Anyway, she just didn't want to go down that route. So I gave her the brain toddy. So she was taking the brain toddy. I think she was taking it in a gel cap, you guys. And I saw her every 5 weeks. So she was really consistent with the brain toddy. And now she's not considered Parkinson's, there's no more shaking in her arm. So she continues to just take one time a day, Amy. You just take it one time a day. She just continues to take the brain toddy, and she has no shaking limbs. So there's that one. Now let's move on. Any questions? Because I'm going to move on. I want to talk about, I'm still talking about the neurological, sorry. I want to talk about this thing that we've all heard about, and everybody's talking about it online too, post-COVID syndrome. So a lot of people that I have seen, daily, are having some variation on a theme of neurological dysfunction. And it can show up as sleeplessness, anxiety, sadness. It could also flat affect, or feeling flat. Also not being able to, all of a sudden you're having a lot of people will have a lot of groin pain, joint pain, and also just feeling like, God, I can't lift my leg up, like my legs feel like lead. Okay, those are all variations on a theme of neurological, that you need to support your brain and your nervous system. So that would be a good time to use this brain toddy. Use it like you want, just one time a day, and you will experience for yourself, or whoever is experiencing those kind of conditions will feel the change. Now, you don't take it for a while and then get off of it. You take it consistently. Now, what I've noticed is that Dad might miss a day and he's fine, but if he misses like 4 days, he's not feeling great. He's feeling lack of balance, internal balance, like that shakiness. You know what? He did have COVID. How long do you take it? He's still taking it. I'm still taking it. I haven't stopped taking it. There's so many external pathogens in our environment that affects our nervous system daily, that this is just something that when you start, you should continue. That's why we're talking about it today, because I'm seeing people. Now, I want to talk about how now I have all the people on the foundations, the Healthy Habits kit. So the Lifelong Vitality pack is really important and really helps to support your whole system. So now what I do for my patients is they're always on the LLV and the brain toddy. That's a good place to start. If you need more nervous system support and repair, I add in the Symphony of the Cells, Neurological Symphony of the Cells. And that's an amazing package that you can get, and they need to do it long term, that they will feel better. You can count on yourself or your loved ones or the people that you're taking care of. They will feel better on that complete protocol. You can count on it. I trust these oils and these protocols completely because I see it over and over and over and over in the clinic, and people think it's a miracle. And it's like, well, plants are ultimately a miracle, but this protocol is not a miracle. Everyone can, you all can tell somebody to do this brain toddy or do it yourself, and the LLV, and if they need to add in the neurological SOC, and they'll think that you're a miracle worker. It's just nature meeting life force, supporting your own body and being. Okay. I have more stories, but I am experiencing some nervous system brain reset issues. I said, yeah, it's going to be great. Yeah, tell us how that works. It's going to be great. Yeah, I know. Start it after the call, right? Okay. I'm going to tell you one more story. All these stories post-COVID. I'm going to talk about patients that have who have gotten COVID, and in the midst of it, their neurological system's going down. So they have COVID. I want to back up. I call it the brain toddy, but it's also cardio. It's really amazing for cardiovascular support. So you're getting twofer here, as Dr. Josie would call it. So you can also look at this from the point of view of supporting the cardiovascular system. I'm just not talking about that today. I'm talking about the brain toddy, but no, you get a 2-for-1 here. So it's really important, especially for people that are in the midst of COVID or experiencing post-COVID syndrome. You need to support your cardiovascular system as well. Now, people that haven't had the vaccination and have had COVID, you really need to support your neurological system and your cardiovascular system. So this brain toddy is really good for that. Also, people that have gotten the vaccination and have felt like they've had nervous system neurological situations based on that. I've seen that as well. So my practice is open for anybody. It doesn't matter what they choose. I'm here to support them. And so it is really a good idea if you had the vaccination and you're feeling like your nervous system has been compromised a little bit, do the brain toddy and your LLV. Okay. Let's go on to hormone. How are we doing? Okay, good. Or any other questions? Okay.
I have one thing I don't want anyone to get confused, but this is just if you want it, because there's people on the chat who are like, oh my gosh, I want to start this right away. I'm in a long, haul kind of state or whatever. Great. If you find yourself at home, it's easy. You're going to be making up the brain toddy and you want to go that extra bit in a protocol, and it's not forever. So it's this is perfect the way it is. But if you want to supercharge it, right, Mica, we've talked about, you get the IQ Omega liquid, and you get a big old, big tablespoon, And you just do somewhere between a teaspoon to a tablespoon of the oil so that's the liquid fish oil that tastes yummy from doTERRA. And you do your drops of brain toddy in that. When you're taking the brain toddy already in a base of great brain food of the omega-3s from the fish oil, it's just an extra supercharge. It's not practical for the rest of your life and all that. So it's just to give a little tip on that. There's you could do that for a couple weeks while you're in a focused state and you're home and it's easy, but don't think you have to do it all the time. I'm just saying it's a little supercharged tip, right?
I love that. I don't know why I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to so do that.
I'm too. I'm really excited because I haven't done it for a long time. And I talked about it and I'm like, oh my God. And as soon as I thought about it, my whole body just went, oh, please.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, Linda, I love it too. Okay, let's move on. Okay. This is my hormone formula. This is topical. I get very emotional, and this formula was created with the theory, Chinese medicine theory, that I started learning from my beloved teacher, Dr. Mica Carew, who is passed on. And he taught me about Chinese medicine formulas, but he really taught me about theory. And then what happened to me is when the oils were introduced to me, something happened in my brain, and I started using all the theory that I had learned from 1995 up until 2013. And this is one of the formulas. Many of my formulas was based on the teachings from Dr. Carew. So this formula they're both really sacred formulas. It's almost like the story of how all my organic chemistry and pre-med, and below that, and then all that, it's just like a story of my life in these two formulas. so it's special and sacred to me to be sharing these for you. But so this is what it is. This is Hormone Formula, and I want to tell you at least one story. These drops are for real. You need to do these drops. This is how it works best. It's in a 2-ounce. I have this by my bed, my 2-ounce bottle, blue bottle. I say it has hormone on it, and it's in castor oil. I also take this when I go get a massage. I'm like, I want you to use this. I want you to massage my entire body with this amazing blend. If you can't do that for me, I've got to leave. I want this blend. It is amazing. So frankincense, copaiba, ginger, clary sage. Okay, just take a screenshot of that. And it needs to be in castor oil if you want the most potent results. Castor oil, maybe Dr. Louise Rose is on the call. She loves castor oil. We all naturopaths love castor oil. It's great to filter out our organ systems. It just gives it a little support so we can filter. So when I put this formula together, I had just had, I knew I had fibroids, and I had just had a baby, not just, but I think it was like my daughter was 5 or something like that. And I could feel more fibroids. My periods were out of control. They were really intense for me. And Dr. Josie and I went to Hawaii, and we did a women's week or women's seminar. And I wanted to show women how to use this amazing formula. So I showed them, we both showed them how to rub it on our bellies. And you know what I do still? And I told them to just do your breasts too. They're right there. There's your whole abdomen, belly, your whole torso. Just do your whole breast. And then I usually get to my thyroid here. So I'm in, and we did this for a couple classes. And I rubbed it on my belly, and it feels so good and it's so nourishing. And that night I started passing like huge jellyfish size fibroids that just plopped out. And it was more than one. And so what I want to say is I trust my body. I also really trust nature healing my body. I also trust these oils. So I know that the amount of the size of those fibroids that were coming out would scare most people, and they'd probably want to go to the hospital. But so you have to judge for yourself. But I was fine. I knew that the oils were going to take care of me, and I knew what I needed to do. I needed to drink a lot of water and keep letting it all of them pass, and using the oils. So using this formula. And I continue to use it today. I don't have fibroids. It was a process though, because I kept on using it every day for months, and I'd still have big, massive things come out. And so that's that story of that part of my life. Now I'm postmenopausal, and I have been using this still, not daily anymore, probably like twice a week. I use this. I have it at my bedside, and I still rub it on my whole body. I've never had any menopausal symptoms. So hot flashes, sleeplessness, connected with menopausal symptoms. I've never had that. So I believe it's because of the LLV and this hormone blend. So PMS, perimenopause, postmenopause. Also, if I feel like I've eaten something and then I'm bloated, or so when I just get more inflammation, I grab it in the middle of the night, and then I start rubbing it on my belly.
Okay, I'm looking at the feed. Can we talk logistics, because that's where people get.
Yeah.
So let's talk castor oil, because people, there's already a few like, do I have to use, can I use some other lighter oil with the castor oil, because it's like for some of us, right? And I've had this experience. I've gone on and off with the hormone blend because the castor oil is so heavy for some of us. Like yeah. I find it heavy too. So let's talk about that. And I think what you've always said to me is that, ideally you want to use all castor oil, like medicinally. Now, here, let's talk about ways that we can make that easy for people. If you're really looking, if you have an issue and you want to be going, I like to talk in terms of like, there's protocol where you're really focused on it, and there's a period of time where this is a medicinal focus for you and you're working with it.
Yeah.
Versus like, this is something like Mica said, yeah, forever now after menopause, this is a great thing to be supporting yourself with. During your cycle, great thing to be supporting yourself, but you could be in a more intense protocol period. And during that time, one of the things I like to do if I'm using this formula with the castor oil, is you could treat it like a castor oil pack, right? Mm-hmm. In a sense where you apply the formula onto your lower belly, and then you could have a little washcloth, dishcloth that you're using, put that over, and then a hot water bottle. Heat is the thing that helps push in and make the castor oil, like absorb and get out of its intense sticky stage and go in. So I've always found that to be a way that I can work with castor oil better.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, we got to remember that any hormone issue is due to a lack of filtration of the liver. So the liver filters hormones. When the liver is congested, that's when PMS happens. That's when hormone imbalance happens. Castor oil is the best way to help upregulate the liver to filter out excess hormones or congestion in the liver. So yeah, I'd say if you're having those conditions, then you should do castor oil. If you don't want to use castor oil, you don't like it, then your condition isn't that bad. So, that's what I would tell a patient in the clinic. It's just like, oh, then you're not suffering that much.
Yeah.
Because when people have an extreme situation, they will go out of their way to do exactly what I say. So let's say you just want maintenance, then yeah, use another oil, use an oil of your choice and do it. I'm kind of hardcore. Okay. Would this be good support to women after giving birth? Yes, Amy, totally. I wish I had it. Would it be appropriate to use focus locally in a problem? Yes, yes. What about this blend with breast health? Yes, exactly. I do put it on my breasts for sure. This not the best formula for breast fibrocystic. Is this not? Yeah, use it for your breast. Anything hormonal, which breasts are included in hormones, you can use the hormone blend. What else?
What else? Anyone else have? Aaron's asking, will it help with pelvic floor prolapse?
Yes, I want to talk about that. Yeah, that is so I healed my pelvic floor prolapse with this. Thanks for asking. I forgot. Hormone blend. And then you could massage it or have your partner massage it internally. It's a great nourisher of the uterus. Thanks for saying that. Yeah. Yeah, I use a men's t-shirt. Me too. I just use a men's t-shirt. I just use a t-shirt. Yeah. I use a men's t-shirt with the arms cut off to sleep in after castor oil. Yeah, okay, me too. Our surface spray on the t-shirt after wearing a, are you saying that a Bode works to clean that? Linda, are you saying that? Oh, Sandy, what's your question? I don't see Sandy's question.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing. So Sandy Whitus, we don't remember seeing a question from you from earlier. I'll look back in the feed.
Want my lymph nodes not to be like, oh yeah, Linda, yes, use the hormone blend. Yeah, for lymph node.
Sandy, can you do your question again? We don't see it at all in the feed.
Mica, how often would you do this for like pre-menopause or symptoms?
Well, you have a sauna, right?
I'm going to do it in the sauna.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to brag, but I was like, oh yeah, I'll just do it.
Yeah. So you go, how often do you go in your sauna?
It varies, but I'm trying to go at least 4 times a week.
Yeah. So I was going to say, do it 3 times a week. Consistently. Just have it like when we'd go to Louise's, I just bring my hormone blend and we just rub it on.
That's what I was thinking. Just have I'm going to leave the bottle in the sauna and then
exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You use it always in the sauna, but what's also the sauna is just a hot water bottle over your abdomen, over the area too, right? It's just that's good heat, local heat if you don't have a sauna.
And then you know what we do in that sauna too is rub Zendocrine on the bottoms of our feet.
Love that. And how about, I do the Zindicrine on the bottoms. And then how about if people, is there a reason why you would use a hot water bottle opposed to a heating pad?
No,
Mm-mm.
I'm just old fashioned.
Yeah, that's just what we learned in school, hot water.
I was just thinking maybe a little updated would be a heating pad for folks
Yeah.
who don't have hot water bottles.
Yeah, do it in the sauna, Erin. Yeah, at least 3 times a week. You'll feel so good.
What do you think for people making up 2 hormone blends for themselves if they're really in like heavy, situation where they might have the hormone formula in a lighter oil that they can just use it like in their morning routine all the time, but then they're committing to doing the castor oil with, in a like at least 3 times a week, right? So they kind of get both.
Or like we do with Chinese herbs. Okay, this is what happens with Dr. Josie and I. You could do the thick one with the castor oil during your period. And then the other times of the week, use the other bottle with no castor oil for the rest of the month.
Right. Louise says you could even apply it, have it on, and then take a bath. That's another way of doing it if you don't have sauna. So these are all great ideas.
Did we answer Sandy's question?
Sandra's is about for women who've had hysterectomies.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was hoping we could speak to that.
Oh, absolutely. Because you still have the energetic, from a Chinese medicine perspective, you still have the energetic, your body still has the energy of your organ, your uterus, and how nourishing and nurturing that would be to use the hormone blend. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I was just going to say too that I've done the castor oil prior to a bath, a warm bath, hot bath. And for those people who are worried about it being thick or messy, it does stay on there well, but then it absorbs, and I find it not as sticky and messy to go to bed. So if that does bother you, you could take a bath first. I've done it that way, and I thought it worked really well.
Yeah. And I love Linda. Linda's saying she puts it directly all on, and then she has a t-shirt that she wears to bed. It's her castor oil t-shirt, and it will absorb into your body overnight. So if you just have that t-shirt and you go to bed, that's another way to do it. Yeah. Erin saying castor oil is good for scar tissue. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm done.
Look at that. Yeah. Wow, everyone. What a beautiful connection and group talk. Thank you.
I love it. I love the camaraderie of sharing ideas and asking questions and gleaning more information to support all of you, all of us.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mica, Dr. Josie. I just wanted to suggest that we all remember to share our success stories, because sometimes we have these amazing protocols, we use them or we share them, and then we forget to celebrate the wins. So I just can't wait to hear what everybody experiences with this.
Yeah, thanks for that reminder. I mean, the pelvic floor prolapse, I had it. That was not a good time, but yeah, the hormone blend totally took care of it. Over time. It was an overtime. It's just not going to pop right on up.
I would love to also chime in and just share another testimonial. I had a cyst on my right ovary that I had to have surgery to have that removed. And that surgery was pretty horrible, actually. And then it started to come back. And the thought of having a second surgery was just dreadful. And so we monitored it, and I became really, really aggressive with my protocols. And I also added in the chat, I also took the phytoestrogen, DDR prime, the LLV. I did the castor oil pack on my with the oils every single night, and I reduced that cyst, so I didn't have to have surgery. So, these protocols, they work, they are life-changing and life-saving. And yeah, I appreciate hearing all the stories and the testimonials, because we all want to know, right, how it all works. But what we need to know is it just works. You just got to use it and do it and be consistent with it. So thank you, Dr. Mica, for all that you share always. You are such a gem to our community, and we are so incredibly blessed to have you with us.
Thank you. I feel blessed too, to have all of you.
Yay. All right. Well, I think that's our call. Thank you everyone for joining. And do we have any announcements for till next week, or we will have our call next week?
Yeah, next week is our convention call, right?
Yeah.
So I just want everybody to kind of be prepared for what we're doing next week. We're definitely going to talk about convention and share stories and tips, but it's going to be the day that tickets come out and the day that hotels are available. So it's also going to be a time where we're like, okay, pull out your phone, buy your ticket. Let's look at hotels. So just know that next week's call will be not traditional, but also very fun. And we'll get our convention plans sorted. So I just want to make sure everybody knew that.
All righty.
Do you want me to close this out, Aisha?
Oh, I can do that. Goodbye, everyone.